tempted to just take the core and use it myself, but
Yeah, I mean you could.
um, how functional would the armor be if it had a core in it?
Okay, so that's you, Noah. You roll a d4. Let's see functionality from just what you can see. Not very. At the most, it would be running at maybe half power. It's got a lot. Probably the most of the damage is internal, not external. So it may look fine on the outside, but you can guess that with all that destruction around you, inside it's all the wires are all messed up. The plating may be not as smooth, so definitely gonna cause some scraping.
Well, I definitely know why the person wearing this is dead.
Yeah, we shot him with a tank a couple of times.
Yeah, like 3 times. So you
Only one
used all the
practice, we
remaining tank
actually.
shells on him.
Yeah.
Don't admit so.
Well, those tank shells shot the internals.
Well, no, it didn't shoot the internals. It damaged the internals with just the concussive force. Maybe some of the heat damage. So Harley, I mean, hearing this, it's like, well, I mean, the suit's damaged, and putting it on might not work. So what do you
How
think?
long would it how long would it take to repair it if we were to bring it back to the island?
Hours. So it would take hours to get it working again, at least to somewhat functionality. So you're willing to wait to get this armor functional. And also, it's like Noah. This would likely mean you'd have to get conscripted into that because you're the one who knows power armor.
Right. Well, at least I got something to do. Um,
I mean,
do I
besides the
notice the other?
assault that's gonna happen over there.
Yeah, yeah. Do I notice the other power armor that's slightly more damaged?
I mean, but they literally pile up the bodies in one area, so yeah, you'd probably notice it.
Okay,
Big,
well,
slightly
with the
damp,
parts,
horribly damaged suit.
uh, do I think I'd be able to repair the broken parts of my suit with the parts of the most damaged suit?
Okay, so you're not even thinking of her problem. You're thinking, oh, there's salvage around here. I could use this stuff.
Pretty much.
I don't know. Rolling intelligence. It's like, all right, so this is cannibalizing parts. Are you trying to do this stealthily, or are you just gonna turn around and grab it?
I'm just looking at it.
So I mean, you'd probably be able to salvage some parts off of it.
Excellent.
But again, it's like to upgrade your suit, it could take a few hours. This stuff does not happen
Yes.
immediately.
Well, once we're done with this assault, we'll need to take both of those back to base. They seem very useful.
Okay, so in terms of reports, Harley, it would take hours to get another suit working. It's like, okay, so tank's down, the suits will take hours to repair. It's gonna take hours to get the tank moving again.
Well, now we've got someone with power armor. Wouldn't bending metal be a little bit easier?
It's not bending metal. The tracks were basically pulled off by Power Fist, so they have to
Okay,
reattach the tracks and then re-get it back on there.
I've got power armor and the ability to do so.
Okay, I mean you could give it a shot. That would be a repair. This is a repair at a disadvantage, which is like -20 because, well, you're not really an expert in tank repair. So yeah, yeah. I
Right.
mean, it's not too hard. You'd really just be. Would you at least be taking directions from Jeff, trying to who's actually skilled to fix the tank?
He might be, he might not. No one's sure, not even him.
Well,
He's
roll
just
a
whistling along,
roll a
doing his
charisma.
thing.
Are you actually going to pay attention to him, or are you just going to do stuff? So you're actually, I mean, it would probably take longer, much longer, if you didn't listen to him. Plus,
But it seems like
he'd
no one
probably
in
be
the
yelling
house.
at you. It's like, no, you idiot! Don't put that there. Just hold it here and let me ratchet that on. So what was
Although
going to
Noah
take?
is technically listening to him, it seems like he's not listening to him.
Okay, so it'll still take about 3 hours to get the tank moving again. And since you apparently are dedicated to that now, you are stuck doing that for the next 3 hours.
In the meantime, I'm gonna try to maybe fix the power armor.
How are you going to do that? You'd have to roll a repair it again at a disadvantage. This is like a -30 because it's power armor,
Yeah.
and also the innards are extremely damaged.
Then I can't roll at all. Like.
Okay,
I
yeah,
only
it'd
have
be
30
like in the
on it.
negative.
Roll
I have
a
a 0
one.
at that point.
Roll a one.
So unless I roll as 1, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna. Like,
yeah, that's not gonna happen.
That's a normal roll. So.
Yeah, normal roll, which is yeah, the -30 would make it 0, so you'd have no chance. I mean, you wouldn't even know where to begin fixing power armor, just because it's got a lot of skills that you don't have, like technical wiring skills, plate repair, just a bunch of skills that it's like, this is not your thing. The most you've been used to repairing is a hammer and combat armor.
When I see him struggling, I'll try to give him a hand.
Okay, so who are you giving a hand?
Harley.
Okay, Harley, so that is, you have to also roll your repair. So, with a -30, that would be actually too low. So you're a little better off, but again, this takes a bit of finesse and a bit of extra knowledge that you don't exactly possess. You know things that shoot bullets. You're not so skilled with things that protect you from bullets. Anyone else? Well, you have Stokes. Stokes, do you want to try your hand at? Everybody seems to be crowding around the suit of armor, trying to figure out how to fix it.
We're talking repair, right?
Yeah, we're talking repair.
I wouldn't be able to do it even if I rolled a 1.
Yep. So Stokes is like, nope, I'm not getting near that. I have no idea what I'm doing.
It'll probably blow up. I don't want to.
I mean, you're smart enough not to have the core in there when you're doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I mean, no, you're stuck doing this for the next 3 hours. Just get the tank mobile again. What are you guys gonna do with that 3 hours? Are you gonna move on? Are you gonna stay here? Because it seems like Noah, he can't go anywhere because he's helping fix the tank.
I'm gonna try to learn as much as possible about power armor.
Okay, how? From busted up suits?
What? No.
Then how? I mean, how would you learn about that?
Like, mostly how everything works on the inside of the suit.
How the hell? It comes back to my original question. How the hell are you gonna learn that? It's gonna take. I mean, the innards are shot to hell to begin with, for one. So what? Are you just gonna take it apart and just look at the insides and hope you gain something?
Why would I have to take it apart?
I don't know. How else are you gonna look at its innards? What's the method behind this madness? Gotta think about those things. Alright, so let's rotate back to... Well, it's Stokes now, so... Stokes, it seems like you're being stalled. It's like, alright, you want to go ahead, but with less guns, and now apparently Noah's here, but Noah's helping repair the tank, and then Kenny's just standing around, and Lynn and Harley are trying to repair power armor, not knowing what they're doing. So, what is your, thought process right about now?
I think the first word coming to mind would be "God damn it."
Okay. It's like, damn it. Again?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I just look, try and see if I can see anybody coming in our direction or anything. You know.
So you're scouting. I mean, there is ways up. So I mean, do you take a high vantage point and see and scout out the area? It's now dark outside also.
Yeah, I'm no longer a ghoul, so. That's
Do
a
you even
problem.
have any sort of light device or any way to see in the dark?
I have my Gauss rifle.
That's only probably viable when you shoot it.
Yeah, and I have half my ammo left.
Yeah, it wouldn't have an
No.
advanced scope either.
Nope.
So likely it would be a perception test, but what is the... Let's see, it's a good thing I wrote some of this down. Darkness... I think that's under combat. No, it's not under combat, it's under attacking. So darkness would reduce it by what? Well, it's not total darkness, so... Okay, flare torch, bad light indoors, no. I would say about 30% loss, so if you're doing a perception, you'd have to reduce it by 30%. Which I'll do the math on that anyway. So, I mean, so you're going to go to the roof and you're going to scout out the area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, roll it. Roll, let's see. Times 0.7. That is just enough for you to actually pull it off. I mean, for one, you see right across from where you're standing, people are looking back at you, like from the top of the highway. You see that up here. Hold on, I'll move us here. Up here, there is at least 3 gunners who are looking at your position as you're looking at their position.
Shit. A little too close for comfort.
Yeah, so right within, I mean, they could shoot at you, but it seems like they're going to take cover, and they're going to probably call something in on a radio. It's like
Probably just.
now. Here's the other part. You also notice that there's at least a turret up there. Like it's
turret.
perched on a ridge, and it looks like it's supposed to watch the road. So, and as you're watching, it's like it was deactivated. Now it goes active.
All right, guys, they know we're here.
Yeah, high chance of that. So you're on the roof, and you guys have no sort of radio. So you're gonna have to go back down the stairs, and tell them that.
Yep.
So you immediately go down the stairs, and like whoever's is listening is like, all right, they know we're here. They already have guys on the bridge.
Guys on bridge, turrets that aren't affected by the lights out. I think we may have actually, whoever turned out the lights did a bad.
So I mean, you could be wrong. You could be that they were just looking in your general direction and they saw something on the roof. It could be that they don't even know you're here. You're kind of just saying that. But you're assuming that yeah, they know we're here, or at least they know something's up.
Better to assume that they know we're here instead of thinking that it's all good and then coming up and shooting us.
Yep. So Lynn, hearing that, I don't know. I guess you're still trying to work on the armor. If you guys are both repairing very terribly.
That's interesting.
Say what?
Yeah, I'm just hanging out.
That's about it. So you guys are just gonna chill till the tank is fixed. Okay, so Lynn is like on the tank. All right, Kenny, what are you doing during all this time? Seems like everybody's not really willing to fight right now.
I'm maybe just playing with my new toy, not firing it, but like playing with
Okay,
my little friend.
let's see. What can I throw in here? Do an agility. So you're playing with your which gun? This is like the heavy machine gun, right?
Yeah, the.
All right, so at least you're smart enough not to pull the trigger. I mean, no, okay, so likely you guys are just gonna wait the 3 hours out, right? And then he's gonna get the tank, at least the tread, somewhat fixed. All right, so he basically calls out, it's like, well, it's gonna be as good as it's gonna get, so let's give it a shot. So I don't know, like he's saying for you guys to load up. It's like, all right, that tracks are kind of repaired. I don't know if it's gonna hold, but we'll see.
Drive onward to adventure.
Okay, so Kenny gets in, Stokes gets in, Lynn's probably still on top of the tank. Noah, do you decide to get in? Noah gets in. Harley, what about
Why
you?
not?
Drive me closer.
Twice the metal around me.
Closer when I punch him with my fist.
Okay, so it's like, well, I mean, I can't go forward. I gotta back it out. So Harley, I guess you kind of drop what you're doing and you go check out the. Let's see. Did you actually learn anything from any of that? Not really. No. I mean, you tried, but these suits are not intact suits. The most you see is the damage that's been done to them. So tank starts up, he backs it out, and then it gets to right about like he gets it out. He turns it to the left, and he's about to run through the other wall, and then you hear a sputtering sound, and it's this tank basically stops again.
Come on.
It's like, shit, what now? So, and he looks back, and it's like, shit, engine's gone. So he's checking the damage of the engine. It's like, shit. We're gonna need a new engine entirely. I mean, there's a hole in it. It's like, and he shows you guys, like, or I don't know, are you watching where he's, who's near, like, Stokes, you're the nearest. Are you actually looking where he's pointing, or?
Well, yeah, of course I am. I was
Okay, so, I mean, he points at, like, underneath it, and you see that there's slightly glowing area. Remember, the rocket hit the bottom of the tank. So it's like, I guess that damage did a little bit more than you thought, initially. And it's like, well, we're not going anywhere with that hole in the engine.
So we might as well have just gotten going 3 hours ago.
It's like, seems like it.
How did you not notice a hole in the engine?
It's like, well, I was kind of working on the tracks. That was kind of the more obvious repair need. I had no idea there was a hole in the engine at the time.
You're less perceptive than I am.
Say what?
You're less perceptive than I am.
It's like, would you have noticed? It's like, yeah, I have my doubts of that, but it's like, and it's like he points at where his head has some like he had to bandage himself slightly, and it's like, and you try thinking straight when you basically have to watch your vehicle get driven into a wall and half your wind knocked out of you.
Buddy, you sure don't wear a seatbelt, okay?
It's like, I was wearing a seatbelt.
Well, then you should have been wearing a helmet.
Yeah, so it's like kind of hard to drive with one of those on.
You weren't driving, I was.
It's like, yeah, well, this thing's not going anywhere, but I'm not about to abandon it here. Like, I'll see what I can do, but don't expect this thing to move any time of the day. So, I mean, now what? The tank's pretty much shot. It's not going anywhere now.
Onward.
Okay, so Kenny's immediately, like, leaps out. It's like, alright. Onward is to the west, by the way. Do an intelligence? Do you at least know which
Onward.
direction you're going?
Onward.
Like I said, do intelligence. It's like it's dark outside also, so it's like, do you know which way you're going? Or do you need somebody to guide you?
I know.
Okay, so you know it's like, alright, enemies are definitely this way, so out of all the things, you know exactly where the enemy is. Does anybody else follow him? Or are you just gonna let him, like, solo charge that?
Follow
So,
the super mutant.
Lynn and Harley, do you decide to follow the super mutant? Okay, so,
Sure.
Lynn, you were on top of the tank when all that happened, where we basically backed the tank out. Oh, you have to just grab yourself and move it. Like, we had to back the tank out. It got only a certain distance, and then the tank basically spluttered and died because there's a hole in the engine.
Shit.
So now you gotta hoof it.
Damn it, Stokes.
Hey, listen. I don't have
I'm
a good
listening.
response to that, but I did kill people, so there you go.
You just drove the tank. I shot everyone.
Yeah, I ran some people over.
He was driving the tank, remember?
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the background, like, as soon as you guys start bantering, you start hearing this. So, just masses of gunfire just start opening up. So it's like, yeah, I think the super mutants have started attacking right about now.
No way they went.
So now's a good time as any to try and get in there.
Go on adventure.
So with Kenny leading it, so Kenny's leading the way. Let's see, guys on top of the ridge. Let's see how they're doing. Because you have two things to worry about. You have their eyesight, and then the second thing you have to worry about is the sensors of the turret. So in terms of their eyesight, they do not see you coming. They're in cover, and they have no idea that you're starting to move over the open ground. As for the turret, which has superior sensors, the turret immediately locks on to the person in front, which is Kenny. So Kenny, as soon as you get to right here, like, you exit the building and you see that, like, I don't know, actually do a perception. This is darkness. Do you actually see the turret swing around and aim right at you?
Nope.
So, nope, you don't see it. So, you're just running straight on, thinking of adventure. Next thing you know, bullets start flying out. So, it gets maybe 2 shots off before it starts to... So, misfires. Great. So, it does in total... Oh, wait. I think this is this, what was your... Oh, wait, I have to click... I forgot about one thing, which is armor class. My apologies. Let's try that again. Still hits. So we'll still count the third one as a crit fail.
Yeah,
So it's 24 damage in total, and then the last one will cause it to basically misfire. Doing 17 damage to itself. That's actually half of that, so that's what?
about
It's like 7. Let's just make it 7. So again, you're gonna take at least 24 damage. That's 12 damage each. That's 2 different rounds. So that means you can double your threshold, but not your resistance. And the damage is 24. So you take 7 damage from the 2 rounds that do hit you. Well, this is what you get when you have ramshackle weapons. They not only damage themselves, but they miss like half the bullets, and then the other half that do hit barely do anything. Okay, agility test, the rest of you. And also, Kenny, now that you're getting shot, do you take cover? There's like cars and shit nearby that you can hide behind.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Okay,
take
so
it.
you're gonna take cover. So this is all an agility test. Like,
I would have most likely still been inside, so
yeah, but it's like once you hear the bullets, you have to like swoop back into cover. So Jebediah and Noah, you would have immediately gone for cover. Kenny, he goes for cover behind the car, but he's kind of big, so it's kind of hard for him to fully cover himself. Harley, you would have probably not exited the building. Lynn, like, so immediately all the mutants are like hitting the deck. Like you both hide behind one car. Kenny's like in the front car, but he's a little large, so it's hard for him to cover. And Noah and Harley, you're in the building. So let's start. Kenny was the one who was shot at, so we're gonna rotate to Noah. Noah, did you get where the shots came from, or like he said they're outside and they're on top of the highway, but can you see them in the dark?
I can shine a light at them.
Okay, so remember this is a minus 30. Well, you now without you don't have a light penalty, or you don't have a darkness penalty because you have a light. So you're gonna point the light in the direction of where you think it is. So that's perception. You don't get a penalty for that. You're gonna fail that also because your eyesight sucks. Yep. So even with the light pointing, you kind of swivel your light around there, but you can't see them because they're in cover.
Anyway, where's the closest cover in the direction?
There is nothing. It's pretty much just open ground and street. The only cover is the thing Kenny's hiding behind, and then the car. Like the 2 cars right next to you are the only cover right now. The gunners kind of made it that way. That's not cover, that's just debris on the ground. So the cars in the lot, that's all cover. The cover actually is working in inverse. This is kind of like a slope. It's sloping the other way though, so there's not really anything to hide behind. I mean, they kind of made it that way. Just clean out all the overgrowth, have a high ground looking down at the open grounds. Perfect strategy.
I shall take a little jaunt over there.
Oh, you're just gonna run it? Okay, so you're gonna run down to the right. Alright, so Stokes. Again, perception challenge, this time with a 30% penalty to your... Okay, so 8. So 8 times 0.7. Which is not... Let's round up, so... So you got a pretty good idea where the turret fire came from, and likely where they are hiding behind. So you know that they're up there. You can see the turret. You know that probably they're hiding behind the cover over here. So what do you do with that?
Well, I'm gonna try and take a shot at the turret.
Okay, so you're gonna shoot the turret. Is it within your maximum range? I think it is.
Range of 50. Yeah.
Okay, that's within your range?
Yeah, it's in range of 50.
Okay, taking a long
That's
shot.
the range of the one.
So, I mean, with almost no effort, you simply line up a shot, you aim it at the turret, and then boom, turret just evaporates into shrapnel and metal pieces.
Turret down, guys.
Okay, so Kenny's gonna throw some. I don't know what you're.
Okay.
You're gonna try to move the car, throw the car,
I
throw
was
something
using
else.
an example.
Okay. I guess that's all you have, Stokes. Is
Well,
it?
technically, I could do more, but there's not much I need to do. So I'm just gonna
Just gonna conserve ammo and maybe let the group do whatever else. Okay, Lynn, what is your plan?
Point my flashlight at them.
Okay, so what's that gonna do?
You can see them a little bit better.
I mean, you kind of know where they are already, but yeah, I guess.
And I guess I'll shoot at them with the M60.
Okay.
What's their armor?
Question, their armor, which I did not write down, damn it. So yeah, this is one of the things I need to update still, is I started updating some of the assets with armor class just on their sheet. Or on the red circle is your armor class, so 20 is their armor class. But I need to update them all so that every enemy has that, because that would speed everything up.
Well, that's not
Oh yeah, we forgot to include armor class in yours.
Okay, how much armor class is it?
Wouldn't have mattered because you have a high enough thing where even with like 40 armor, you'd still get a hit, and you did enough damage where his armor did not matter at all. Let me look on the inside of that. Which one is this? The M60 is what it is.
There we go. Fixed it.
Okay. So is that with the modifier of -20?
Yeah.
Okay, so heavy machine gun fire, which is this. Just, a lot of adding more noise to the already noisy gun battle. So they have an AC of... Well, I have to look at their sheets now. I really gotta just like, don't close their sheets because you need them. They have slight cover as well, so that mitigates a little bit of damage, like 3. Your bullets do -10 and -10, right?
No, the M60s are normal, I think.
Okay, so the M60 just has normal rounds. So including cover, that would be what? It's 246. This is 10 bullets. So that's what? Cover's only going to apply for 1. 18 plus 5, which is 23. And then a resistance of 25. So 167 split among the group. So likely you would take out all 3. Like those heavy caliber rounds would still just punch right through the cover, which is like concrete. Punch through the cover and probably kill all the people behind the cover.
Whoa.
I mean, if you think about it, all you did was you swept your machine gun fire over the concrete barricade and kill in. You know, you might have killed everyone beyond. You don't know. You'll have to go in and check the bodies. Okay, so, I mean, Harley, it doesn't seem like there's any more fire from that area. At least that area, anyway, now that it's been hit with machine gun fire. So what happens now? Hope you're paying attention, Stare, which I don't think you are. Yep, that is... Or he doesn't realize his mic is off right now.
Sorry, I didn't even realize you were talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Spaced out for a second.
Yeah, I see that. I was thinking of having editing in this, and I just thought, fuck it. I don't care. Just leave it as is, and then you guys get to watch how you have failed me. Anyway, so you're just gonna run for it.
Yeah.
Alright, so Kenny, again, it doesn't seem like there's any visible targets right now. The gun battle is definitely happening inside of the compound.
That is the rush. Where the sound is coming from.
So again, it's to the direct west. I mean, if you travel directly, so likely in the center of this town thing surrounded by walls. Yeah, the walls look like pretty thick metal. Like, it's ramshackle, so you might be able to find a way through, but it looks like it's pretty sturdy built. Alright, so you moved. Noah, where are you planning to go? Because, okay, here's the issue, is under this underpass, that is water. It's kind of like shallow water, but it's still going to slow you down. So, the gunners, they have their position pretty well set up. I mean, all the entrances are covered by either natural defenses or overpasses, so they can have high ground. You know, it's a pretty good defensible position.
I'm not planning on going that way. I'm planning on going along there-ish.
How far can you go?
I can only go 11.
Yeah, that's still pretty much like if you go within this area, there's gonna be water. Like it's that
Where
whole
would there
direction,
not be
there's no
water?
way to get there without fording at least some small amount of water. Like at least to get to there.
Okay, what's the path with the least water?
Okay, in terms of water, it would basically double your movement.
Yeah, but where's the smallest path?
There is
Of
that would
water
be a
that I
perception
have to go
challenge
through.
in the dark. So do a perception. It's like, well, first you have to move there, and then you have to do a perception from up close. So, in terms of knowing it all looks like murky water to you, especially in the darkness. Even with the light trained on
I've
it.
got a light, remember?
Yeah, even with the light trained on it, it's like, it doesn't look like there's any path that isn't gonna like have water on it.
No, I'm not trying to avoid the water. I'm trying to find the smallest path through the water.
Yeah, even the small that you can't find it because all the water looks pretty much the same. It's got floating debris in it, and you don't know if you step there if it's going to be solid ground or if it's going to be just more water.
No, as in like the smallest span of water.
There is no smallest span. The whole thing from this point on is surrounded by water. The only way to not have water is to go the other direction, which is up north, which is obviously covered by the gunners.
And which would take longer even without the water.
Yeah, so they plan their grounds well. Plus, I mean, there's a house right there. You don't know if there's going to be anybody in that house guarding it, or if there's anybody else on the overpass.
well, from under the overpass, they won't be able to hit me. And isn't there like a giant wall there?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
that
wall.
is.
The big
Okay.
gray thing is a
I get what
wall.
you're talking about. Yeah, that's all I can move anyway.
So, well, you better think fast, cause remember that I don't think you were around for when they did that trick, but they're pulling the same trick again. Like, let's see, who's in visual range? That'd be Harley. Harley, you see them pulling the same trick, which is like they're bursting out of the water. So you see like 3 sergeants burst out of the
The
water
moment
right
they
in
do
front
that,
of
I'm
you.
gonna try to hit the ground.
Okay, so I mean they're not aiming at you.
Which I don't.
Like obviously
Yeah,
they were
but
waiting for
still.
someone. Say what?
Still, I'm gonna still try to hit the
So
ground.
you're gonna hit the dirt. No, it's like you see 3 of them burst out of the water in front of you. They can't act yet.
They'll get a minus 43 to hit. I'll be fine.
Okay. So. Actually, that would put them. Oh, okay, well, so we're on Noah. So Stokes, you're up. You see? I don't know. Can you see? Can you see him from where he is? That's another perception. Is because you were looking this way, and now in the darkness that way, the gunners have. So I mean, you would have seen that.
Yeah, I mean, also Noah has his flashlight.
Yeah, Noah has his light trained on him, so you don't get the penalty. So, I mean, now you see 3 more enemies. They pulled the same trick twice, hoping that it would work.
Noah is completely unfazed.
Well, at this point, I'm just calmly walking up and just take a shot.
Okay, so let me get their armor class also. These guys seem to enjoy jumping out of the water and just thinking it would surprise enemies. So they have an armor class of 26.
Okay, just have to beat a 74.
And so, I mean, do you obviously, did you actually, can you actually, oh, you can't, because I didn't macro that yet. My bad. Hit for 13, that's not a lot, especially considering their armor class. Or especially considering their resistances. That was actually a lower end shot.
Considering it's an M19
Yeah,
rifle,
plus it's
I'll
an
take
M19,
it.
so. Oh, are you out of gauze ammo?
No, I'm at half, but I want to save that.
Save it for the big things. So, more normal damage. 325. So he takes 7. So I take, which one are you aiming for?
That.
So probably the centermost one. Alright, so he takes only 7 damage. See, that wasn't enough because, you know, they still have the... Let's see. They're close range, and the worst part is they have laser weapons, so they're going to use laser carbines on you. What did you say your armor class was? 43?
Yep, 43. I'm actually better against laser weapons.
Alright, so first one is going to ricochet. Second one is also going to ricochet.
That's not rolling right, I think.
Say what? Oh, it
I
isn't
think that's
rolling right. Huh.
correctly.
Interesting. And I double checked this too. That's the irony of that. Let's
You probably
see.
put a minus in front.
No, it's because it's basically rolling double. It shouldn't be doing that. Let me check the
Oh, and
codes
shouldn't we also
page.
be
Did
getting
I
the light-
insert that incorrectly into here? No, it's well, the stuff on the code page is correct, but some of these codes are still out of date. I probably should have updated that.
Shouldn't they
I thought
also
I
be
did.
getting-
No, see, now it does work. Like, it still
Shouldn't they
missed,
also
but...
be getting the light penalties as well?
What, light penalty? They have flashlights.
Okay.
So, that's how you knew they were there. Like, they popped up, they flicked the flashlights on, and then they fire laser weapons. But, you know, obviously your armor seems to be ricocheting most of the laser blast. It's reflecting lasers.
I was just walking along, lasers bouncing off his chest.
Okay, so they're, you know, you can see that they're surprised that's not working. Like, normal things would die from that, but obviously that's not working. Let's see, in terms of extra surprises. So there you do get an unfortunate surprise as well. Like, you know, since they engaged, you see that up top, you know, there are 2 heavies up there. And one of them is armed with an LAW. He's not going to fire yet, but he is, like, you basically have a rocket launcher pointed at you. Okay, so Harley, he, you know, kind of kicked the hornet's nest.
I'm just gonna play that for now.
Okay, so you're going to play dead.
Well,
You're
no,
not
wait.
even going to just crawl towards them?
I'm gonna crawl like 3 meters.
Trying not to draw too much attention.
Mostly to give Deadly the +5 armor, but...
Okay. So, just try not to draw too much attention from get shot in the process. Lynn is already measuring out, okay, I gotta shoot those guys up there. Noah, this is a perception. Does your lights, like, as you're getting shot with lasers, does your lights swing upwards to the guys up top, or do you not even notice that there's a rocket pointed at your head?
1 second.
So, still oblivious to everything. You're more focused on the fact that you're reflecting, reflecting lasers.
I'm more focused on casually walking up to this guy.
Okay, so Kenny, yeah, bad stuff is happening to him.
Hold on.
I think you would notice the
Make sure.
laser shots. Oh wait, hold on.
Sure.
Sorry, my bad. Lynn, you're still up. It rotated it rotated too fast. My bad. Okay, back to Lynn with her heavy weapon.
What's the minus for the law guy?
I mean, you could shoot the guys down there with no penalty because Noah has a light on him. The guys up top, you'll have a penalty light, which is minus 30.
I have my own flashlight.
Okay, so you have a flash. Oh, okay, so you don't have to worry about that then. So, using your little flashlight.
That's why you pick up a flashlight, guys. So what's the armor class? The guys.
Their armor class is... again, it's not on there. Damn it. So their armor class is 26. Okay, so you hit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the shots.
This is of course aiming for the guy with the law.
I have to roll. Wait, say that again?
This is for the guy with the law, of course.
Oh, so basically the guy with the rocket launcher. Okay, so what are we looking at? This is 7 shots. Switches. I wonder if I could just, technically I can just do that. So I am gonna do that. $48. Resistance of 40. So, man, your gun is just extremely high caliber. It doesn't really matter how many. So, I mean, each burst is pretty much death to whatever you're pointing at for now. So, you take out, and you do the same trick. You keep firing and you hit them both. How much ammo do you have left anyway? You just still have more ammo?
I have 1 burst left.
Okay, so you're using all the precious ammo to take out high value targets.
Yep.
Alright, so Kenny, you're up. It's like the guy's up there, the guy with the rocket, he falls down dead. The other guy does too.
Try to fire again. Hopefully not.
Try the new gun, hopefully not hit your friends. Also, hopefully actually hit the target.
Yeah. It was again 20? No.
Hold on, let me. 26. Okay, so you hit 9 bullets for how much?
Dead.
211? Yeah, 9 bullets for dead,
Yeah,
but I
that
have to at least calculate and see if any of them will survive. Let's see. Okay, so that is that. So that's 166. I think that was 25, if I recall. No, that's 40. Huh, that is exactly as much damage as they have health. That's ironic. Let's see, Okay, so in terms of Noah, you do get hit with the one bullet that missed. It does ricochet off your back. It doesn't do any damage, but you get caught in the burst of fire.
Ding.
Yeah, so the last bullet, the 10th bullet will ricochet off you. So again, heavy weapons just sweeping a chain of fire across all the targets within the scenario. So now you have 3 guys now face down with massive wounds in their bodies. You have the 2 guys up there, which they fell. One fell forwards, now he's hanging over the ledge, and the other one fell backwards. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any more targets within your immediate area.
Terminator music plays in the background as Noah slowly walks.